get right into it. What is up, nerds, gamers, amateur movie critics, and fellow Burks? I am all of those things, and that is why you are here watching Burke the Nerd. Today, I am joined with the one and only chat lord, MisterOtter 96.
Hello.
Who's actually he decided to hop onto this side of the streaming, kind of join us for a game today. And the game that we are playing today is Elder Scrolls Online. Currently, I only have the Elsewhere expansion, but we'll probably just be using some of the base game stuff. As you can see, this is my dude here. He goes by the name Sir Swanky Tiger, formerly known as El Swanky Tigro, but we don't talk about that anymore. I guess I just
R.I.P.
Yeah. You can see under his mask. I didn't realize that before. He needs a mask upgrade.
I haven't played this game in years, actually.
It's been quite a long time, but we decided this would be a fun game to try out. Is anyone in the chat right now? We got anyone joining us yet? I think we have one or two people just kind of watching right now.
What's up, guys?
See if anyone's no. I'm sure they'll come eventually. Anyway,
the show must go on.
Show must go on. We'll just talk without him this round. So going right into it, the question of the week that we're going to be talking about is basically just recapping the Oscars. We're going to talk about what we feel about how the results went, how we think they should have went, who do we think didn't even get a chance, all of those different topics. We're going to go into each of them differently. First of all, I'm assuming you watched the Oscars yesterday, Jared?
Yes, I did. I watched it live last night, the entire thing from the opening songs to the credits.
And what was your general thoughts on how it was run?
I'll
press start.
Like in general, or like compared to say last year?
Let's say both.
They went hostless again, which
okay.
I thought it ran pretty fine. Nothing too bad. This thing looks like a Deathclaw. Am I running this game?
Nope, you're just doomed.
Fight my dog. It just spit fire at me. Yeah. So it didn't go too bad. There were definitely odd moments and a lot of surprises, but overall, not a bad time. Although I did see, I saw one report saying that it's the lowest rated Oscars in quite some time.
Really? Do you think that's just like a trend thing of maybe people are watching less, or care less about the award shows? Do you think that could be a potential reason for that, or do you think it's something different?
I think there might be a lot of things going into it. Political things, obviously, may play a factor for some people. I know there are some fandoms that feel the Oscars alienate their favorite movies, and so it's all rigged and like not worth watching.
Okay, can you give me some examples? What do you think? I've only recently heard about that. I never really, to be honest, until recently, I didn't really care about the Oscars. It wasn't until I got AMC A-List. Shout out to AMC A-List. $23 a month, 3 movies a week for free. You get discount, you get upgrades on all your snacks and drinks. There's no reason, if you watch it more than one movie a month, there's no reason not to get A-List. Honestly, even if you don't, I was talking to my fiance the other day, and I made a point that really, even though I don't like some months I see less movies than others, obviously, because it depends on what's out. But to be honest, even on the months that I only see one movie, it feels so much better to have A-List because it's like I don't have to stress about buying tickets. I don't have to worry about it ahead of time. I don't have to think about it. I also it just takes the stress away of going to the movies, and which I don't know if it was ever super stressful, but like it doesn't make me feel bad. I don't feel like I'm like, I don't know if this is always a good thing, but I don't feel like I'm spending the money, and I'm kind of like, if you have a significant other, it's a really good opportunity just for free dates. You pay $23 a month, and you can go on basically 12 dates a month.
And then they added AMC A-List Entourage, so you and all your A-List buddies can get together, squad up at the theater.
Which I don't know how valid, I don't know how realistic that is anyway, but
and the thing about it, and the fact that there's no upcharges for premium like screenings. Like I saw Star Wars: Rise of Skywalker in Dolby. If you figure a Dolby ticket on its own will cost like $18.
Yep.
And then the next day, I saw Bombshell and Cats for like no extra cost.
Yep. No blackout tapes. Nothing.
Yeah, like so if like I was just buying for a normal ticket for all three of those in the same formats, I probably would have spent close to $40 on just the tickets.
Yeah.
And whereas, you know, it's
it
a
changes
great
the
deal.
Game. And honestly, like
even like if you're not someone who goes to the movies like so often, like maybe you don't go, maybe you don't manage once a month. I think either of their like paid like premiere subscriptions are totally worth it.
Yeah, and here's the thing, I'm not even near like the nice theaters, so like my tickets are typically like $7 to $10. Yeah, my tickets are. Ooh, there's an event. Do you see the event happening right now? I don't know where you're at, but I'm in the same region as you, and one of those rings just dropped. You know, like the sky rings.
Doesn't even say we're in like the same party anymore.
Yeah, I just traveled to you.
Oh.
So
cool.
So I should be in your region, but I just I'm going towards.
I guess I'll find you.
Yeah. Oh! I made a mistake. This is a mistake. Okay.
It's gonna go.
So the way I play this game, you guys will realize, is a lot of just backing up and shooting lightning. It's very exciting. But hopefully, I will get a. Actually, oh, that's right. I do have a different. I can try a different handset once I figure out how to switch it over to the one that.
I just want to give a shout out to my boy Snaps_45 in the chat room right there.
Yeah, I see him.
And just before we get back to the main topic of the Oscars, I want to keep selling my soul to AMC here and just highlight some of the other features that you get with their Premiere and A-list subscriptions. So like, obviously, 3 movies a week is great for A-list, but like, you also on top of that get the priority fast track line for concessions. For all the money you spend on concessions, you get more points towards $5 reward. You get like free birthday stuff. And I believe for only the paid memberships, you get no like online convenience fees for buying tickets.
Yeah, which can add up, especially like for a lot.
Yeah.
What's up, boy? Excited to watch another stream. We are excited to have you, Mako.
Mako Shark.
Mako Shark's our boy.
1521.
Snaps our boy too. We got a lot of boys. Also, by the way, I have the coolest character because I have this little goat. I have a pet goat. I have a pet demon monkey thing, and I have this pet little dragon. And then when I want to, I can have this pet storm atronach, which just stands there menacingly. Hello. Anyway, yes, and to be honest, and also to be clear, we're obviously, if you didn't know already, we are obviously not sponsored by AMC. We just love it because, let's be honest, I have currently 5 viewers, so not exactly something that gets sponsored. But we love AMC. If you do not have AMC A-List and you see more than a movie a month, you should have AMC A-List because honestly, it encourages you to see movies. Yeah,
and like even if you don't do like a movie a month, if you go to the movies, I would say 5 times a year, at least go for the Premiere membership because it's only $15 a year. You get most of the same benefits at A-List. Like they're both so worth it. If you go to the movies like at least a couple times a year.
Yeah. Okay, I think I can invite you to group, so I'm gonna do that. Do you have?
I see. I have accepted.
So let's see if that does anything. We're currently in the process of trying to find each other. So,
yeah, I have not played this game since 2017.
This game does not exactly have the like most intuitive system for like groups. So we're kind of working on that. How about this? Are you in the desert area?
Yes, I am.
Let's go to a city. What's the closest city to you? Kazanset Sentinel.
Kazanset
it is. Let's do it.
Okay.
Is that a far one from you?
Kinda.
Oh, that's the other one. Sentinel, the one by the water. Good enough. All right. So
yeah.
Snaps, I assume you're referring to all my pets, and you're right, they are sick. But unless you're talking about AMC, which is also sick. Honestly, it's also sick. But Here's the thing.
I think he's talking to Mako.
Oh yeah. No, because he said, "Dude, that's sick," and I don't know if that would be responding to excited to watch another stream. I don't know. So here's the thing. One more thing about AMC. If you
Don't worry, guys. We will get to the Oscars.
Yeah, we will eventually get to it. But one of the things that I actually really appreciated about it is like I normally wouldn't have cared about the Oscars or honestly like film news in general. Like I wasn't like I always liked movies. I was always a big like movie fan, but never like specifically like there was never like specific ones I cared about or like I wasn't like a movie critic, so to speak, you know?
Yeah. I'm sure you and I were in like very similar boats where like I enjoyed seeing something different occasionally, but mainly if I was going to the theater, I was seeing whatever Marvel or DC were putting out, and I wasn't really seeing much of anything else. And because of A-list, this is the first year I've ever seen every single Best Picture nominee.
Yeah, and that was a crazy feat that you had this year. I didn't see everyone, but I saw, I'd say at least 80%. And the thing is, I mean, I didn't pay anything different. I didn't get like it was no extra fee. I just went and saw them all, and it makes it encourages you to see movies you never would have normally seen. Yeah, and that's a big benefit. Yes, he's referring to the pets, mainly the goat. Thank you. Yeah, the goat's pretty.
And like just thinking about like how many of these amazing movies would I have not have seen that ended up being in my top 10 or my top 5 of 2019.
Exactly. Also, watch all my pets. I don't even fight these things. My pets just kick it. I just kind of watch. Until I figure out. Oh, there we go. I have weapons, guys. I told you I have weapons. I'll use those. They're a little more exciting. Granted, maybe not much.
All right.
So, I think we've established how much we love AMC.
Yes.
We'll get into maybe our favorite movies of the year soon. But for now, I say we just kind of start into it.
Talk about the Currs.
Yeah, so we have a list of the Oscars here, all of the nominees and all of the winners, and we're basically.
By the way, are you near the big sky thingamabopper right now?
I am. Aha.
I'm on my way there.
Okay, I'll meet you there. That's where I just was. Two bad cats just missed the mark.
Mako, no.
I assume he's referring to the performance where it was Rebel Wilson and
James Corden came out dressed as their Cats characters. Yeah.
Yeah. You know what? I was watching the John Campea show, who I'm a big fan of, big inspiration for what I'm doing here or trying to do here with my channel, and really, they were talking on that, and Robert Meyer Burnett, who's a big guest on their channel all the time, he brought up a point that he was like upset that because it was the like people giving away the awards for best visual effects, he's kind of felt like it was a disrespect to the
VFX artists.
Yeah. To the what do you think about that?
I saw a similar complaint. I don't watch John Campea as much as you. I generally stick to Collider or Screen Junkies, and Spencer Gilbert, I believe it was, of Screen Junkies last night, in their post-Oscars thing, was talking about how like the two of them. It seemed like the two of them came on there to like poke fun at like the bad visual effects of Cats, and like it seemed like disrespectful to the people who like they did put a lot of hard work into there. VFX artists, you know, they have a lot of work to do and a lot of deadlines on top of that. And like, to be fair, like their performances were also part of why that movie was bad. So I don't like how it seemed to like be. I don't know if it was the intention to be like a diss, but it did come across like that.
Yeah, like I heard some people say like it was just very self-aware, like just being self-aware, and like, hey,
it was self-aware too.
I found you,
which is not.
Are we running in circles around the same altar, trying to find each other?
Yeah, that's you. It's me.
Oh, hey, all right. Now, how do I? It doesn't tell me that you're there, so we're just gonna have to stick near each other. Let's do a dungeon or something. We're gonna go to. Just gonna pick one. I don't know. Well, let's go this way. Just follow me. Yeah, but I felt like because like you were saying, part of that was their performance. So like that they didn't do well, or the movie didn't do well. So like you have to wonder, like, do you think that was kind of also them like scapegoating the VFX when really like they were part of why the movie wasn't good?
I just want to know, how are you running?
Double tap shift.
There we go. Okay. Yeah, like who knows? Only they know what their true intentions were there. It seemed like, yeah, one part of it just like self-deprecation, like let's not take ourselves too seriously. One part, like this is all the VFX artist's faults.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, it was quite a shock for me to see it. It triggered my PTSD from seeing that movie.
Yeah, that was definitely the best movie of 2019. Was it 2019 or 2020?
It was 2019,
oh, yeah,
and it was actually quite the opposite of the best movie. It was literally the worst movie.
Arguably of all time.
Arguably of all time. Yeah.
So, okay, so here's the so kind of going into it. Let's just go. Moving on from Mako's amazing comment, bringing out the conversation of cats, which is always a fun topic to talk about.
It's never. I actually want Mako Shark to be kicked from the chat.
You know what? It actually raises a question. Should we have a worst picture in the Oscars?
That's what the Razzies are for.
The Razzies? I've never heard of the Razzies.
The Razzies are the Oscars, but for, bad movies. And I haven't looked at this year's Razzies, but I've seen Cats get mentioned quite a few times in regards to it, as well as Dark Phoenix and Men in Black International, which are also bad films, to say the least.
I didn't feel like Men in Black was that bad.
That's each their own.
Yeah, I didn't think it was good, but I didn't think it was that bad. Like, I didn't think it was like worth being like mentioned as a bad movie.
Of my bottom 5 movies of 2019, it is the best. I will say that.
You have a bottom 5. Can I please hear it?
All right. So, I was lucky enough. Shout out to AMC A-List one more time to see 48 different movies over the course of 2019. The worst movie of them was Cats, as we've mentioned.
Yep.
The next one up from that was the Hellboy reboot starring David Harbour,
which I did not watch.
I tend
to.
You are better for it.
Yeah, I tend to avoid the bad movies. So, but sorry, continue.
Yeah. Then above that, we got X-Men: Dank Phoenix.
Dank Phoenix.
And then above that, we have Stuber, starring Kumail Nanjiani and Dave Bautista, which was another stinker.
Yep.
And then we got Men in Black.
Okay. That's a credible bottom 5 list.
Also, Kumail Nanjiani has a movie coming out next week, some like romance movie. But in the trailer, like
the romance movie or the comedy,
the rom-com, I guess. The what's it called? I forget what it's called. With Issa Rae but in the trailer, like, and one of the first things that happens in the trailer is that like a supposed police officer like stops him and says, "You need this car." I'm like, didn't I just see this movie? Is this just Stuber with a different lead?
I feel like they wanted to use all the same sets and same actors, so they just like made 3 of the same movie, and they were like, "Wait, can't like." As soon as he went from like filming one, he just walked over to the next like room and then like filmed the second one. Oh, we got Salad on the track. Yes. Welcome, Salad Dan. Also, to shout out Snaps, he said, "Yeah, there's a fine line. I think those that worked on the movies behind the scenes deserved loads of credit, but as a whole, Cats deserved all the criticism in the world." Yeah, I mean, at a certain point, like, I don't know. Is it a budget? Is it their problem or is it like a budget problem? I don't know. Is it a Labrador? Do you have a Labrador?
Yeah, I completely forgot about it too. But while we're on the topic of visual effects and whatnot, every one of you who complained about the Sonic design better go see it next week, because I assure you, it's not like they paid those VFX artists overtime to fix that.
Yeah. Yep. I'm going into this dungeon. Okay, so let's just get. We're gonna go through each one, and basically, I want to talk about. We're not gonna talk about every single category, but we're gonna go into a lot of the big ones. We're just gonna talk about what we think. What should have been nominated that wasn't. Who won? How we feel about that? Who should have won it? And who we would have picked to win it, which sometimes can be different. But let's just talk about Best Supporting Actor. So the Best Supporting Actor category, we had Brad Pitt for Once Upon a Time, Al Pacino for The Irishman, Joe Pesci for The Irishman, Anthony Hopkins for Two Popes, and Tom Hanks for A Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood. How many of those movies did you see?
I saw all but Two Popes.
All but Two Popes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
I wonder if we should establish our pre-existing bias before going into this, because I feel like we're going to have different favorite movies, and this might affect a lot of how we decide to go about it.
Well, that's part of the discourse.
All right. So to be clear, the only one I haven't seen of this is A Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood. Actually, no, I'm sorry. I haven't seen Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. So maybe this is. I know you've seen Once Upon a Time in Hollywood and A Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood, right?
Yes.
The only one is Two Popes. So what do you think anyone was left out of this category that should have been in terms of Best Supporting Actor?
No one immediately comes to mind. I think they picked it pretty well as terms of who got the nomination. Of course, I haven't seen Two Popes, so I can't speak to Anthony Hopkins' performance there.
Yeah.
I'm sure it was a good one because he's Anthony Hopkins.
It's Anthony Hopkins. How are you going to mess that up?
Yeah.
I'm seeing a Sonic because... we got to go back to Snaps first. I haven't seen...
Best Supporting Actor. I had two of them come back to me. Okay. I'm going Willem Dafoe for his role in The Lighthouse.
Okay. And
then Sam Rockwell. And now I'm torn on this because he was very good in Jojo Rabbit, and he was also very good in Richard Jewell.
Oh, I haven't seen him in Richard Jewell.
Yeah, but I think...
Wait, Sam Rockwell, which one is Sam Rockwell in Jojo Rabbit?
He is the one that's in love with Theon Greyjoy.
Got it.
The one who saves his life at the end, yeah.
Okay.
Spoiler alert, by the way.
Fair enough. Yeah, sorry. If you're on this, you assume we're going to be doing some movie talk. Let me just shout back out the Snaps. I haven't seen much of Camille Nanjiani's work, but The Big Sick looked really good. I have
not seen The Big Sick, but I've heard good things about it.
I'm actually just trying to remember what that movie was.
Was it? I know. I want to say, and someone correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. Was it Sally Hopkins?
Oof, I don't know. I'm not sure. But we can move on to that. Salad Dance said, I'm seeing Sonic because I have a need, and I think you know for what. For Sonic, obviously. Maybe for Tails? Who knows?
Knuckles.
Yeah, for Knuckles.
No, everyone's going to see Sonic
for was the best supporting actor in Cats. Okay, so for Best Supporting Actor, to be honest with you, so I haven't seen Brad Pitt in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. But from the others, first of all, I'm going to get this off the top. I really did like The Irishman, and I'm not going to do any spoilers on the ending, but I didn't like the ending. The ending kind of was a damper for me. There's a mission here. We can just
for me for The Irishman. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off there.
Oh, you're good.
And I've only seen it once, and that was like back in November when it came out.
We'll have another week or two to see it again. You know.
Yeah.
I made a mistake.
I personally would not have given Joe Pesci the nomination for it. I would have given it to Pacino. I would have given it to Pacino, but I don't know about Pesci for his character.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I don't really... I did think the acting was good, but it also was like... I don't know. And it's very much like a timepiece, I feel like.
Yeah.
So it's not like... I don't feel like there's a whole lot there. Like, I really liked the movie, but I also don't know if I'd watch it again. Dill, I'm going to be honest with you.
I would like to watch it again, just like in one sitting next time, because I watched it in two parts the first time I watched it.
Yeah, didn't That reminds me, during the Oscars, who was it that made the joke about it? Who was like, I really liked season 1 of The Irishman.
I think that was Chris Rock.
Chris Rock said that. That was a funny, funny little tune in.
It's so odd that it like so many people rejected it too. Like so many studios
because of the length.
I know, but like you think Scorsese, De Niro, and Pacino all wrapped into one would be enough for the studios to just throw money at them.
Yeah,
the mere name of Christopher Nolan does it. So,
well, Christopher Nolan.
I know he's the modern.
If
Scorsese.
we're taking our pick, I think I'm picking Nolan. Yeah, Tom Hanks. Tom Hanks definitely. Again, haven't seen him in that, but Tom Hanks is just incredible as it is. So I find it hard to believe that.
Before I saw A Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood, I had Brad Pitt as my shoo-in for supporting actor because honestly, he's the best performance in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. He's so fun to watch and he does so well. But also, Tom Hanks is such a as a person, he's such a nice, wholesome man playing the most wholesome man who ever lived.
Yes.
And his performance really just moves you. It moved me to tears, honestly, when I saw it.
Really?
So it was a tough race, and I would have been happy if either of them had won that. Brad Pitt obviously took it home. But, yeah, that's what I have to say about supporting actor.
Huh. Yeah, for me, Two Popes. If anyone hasn't seen Two Popes, it's on
my
Netflix.
to-watch list.
It's on Netflix, and it has some of the best social commentary, religious commentary, like in just general character development. Like it has some of the best discourse of any character, like any movie I've seen this year. Like it really is just a conversation between two people. That's really what it is. It is two people who have such different opinions of the world, just having a conversation about it and really, figuring out how can one, how can you communicate with somebody and really, open their minds to like understanding, and also like how do you handle talking to people about what you believe, and how do you handle change, like how do you become willing to change and be accepting to the way other people think about life. It is a really, really good movie. It has I'm blanking on his name, but the main actor is from
Jonathan Pryce.
Jonathan Pryce. He is
he's the High Sparrow in Game of Thrones.
The High Sparrow from Game of Thrones.
I was just watching a director's roundtable from the Hollywood Reporter on YouTube, and he was talking like, I kind of cast him just because he literally looks like Pope Francis.
Exactly. But also, if you like see him, the way he plays the High Sparrow, like, now imagine like, this is just like for lack of a better explanation. Like, imagine being like I don't know, like he plays this like almost similarly to the way that he played the High Sparrow, but like.
Creepy religious dude.
But he's good. It's weird. Like, you have to see it because it's like, it's just a good character study. You really have to see it. Yeah, it does sound like a sitcom on TBS. If you have it, just watch a trailer, and then you're gonna be like, oh, this movie looks awful, and then you're gonna watch the movie, and you're gonna be like, this movie's amazing. That's my personal opinion on it. I think that. If I had picked someone for this, with just only seeing admittedly only seeing two of the the four movies on here, so only knowing 3 out of the 5, I would have picked Anthony Hopkins for that. But then again, It's Anthony Hopkins, and I think at the end of the day, you're going to pick Anthony Hopkins because it's Anthony Hopkins and he's amazing in whatever he does. But it was just a good movie. Very, it almost seemed. It seemed low budget, but I'm pretty sure they actually filmed in the Vatican.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So, like, I don't know how low budget. It's also based on a true story, which is important. I think it's like not. It's very relevant of a film too. It's very it's very relevant to like current times, but also just like I don't know. Anyway, I've said my piece on that. Do you feel like there was anyone who you would have picked? You think Brad Pitt was fine?
Yeah, Brad Pitt or Tom Hanks.
Yeah,
I was really fine with either of them winning, and yeah, Brad took it home for all the marbles.
Okay. So then, do you feel? And you felt like there was maybe like one or two left out. Okay, so let's move on to. We don't even really need to talk about animated feature film if we're being honest.
I only saw Toy Story 4.
Yeah,
and,
I mean,
Toy
it's
Story
a Toy Story
1.
movie. I would find it hard to believe much else would beat it.
Yeah.
But we don't really have to delve too into that.
I think I saw someone say Frozen 2 got snubbed. I didn't think so. I thought it was nowhere near as good as the first one.
Yeah, and Toy Story.
Yeah, it's Toy Story.
It. You don't need to really say anything else. It's Toy Story. Yo, what is up, Jake the Snake? 25. Tom Hanks deserved the Oscar for Mr. Rogers. That's fair.
I would like to give a shout out to Salad Dance right here, because I asked him in the chat, how do you do the salad dance? And he said, you put your right salad in, you put your right salad out, put your right salad in, and toss it all about.
Once again, thanks to Salad Dance for inspiring us all on how to be better salad dancers.
Salad Dance, I'm getting that tattooed on my forehead.
I look forward to seeing that. All right, so there's the two categories now: Best Adapted Screenplay, Best Original Screenplay. First of all, I'd like to just start off by saying these two, the people that were picked would have been my top picks for both of those categories. I'm very happy with it. I think that there were two that I could have easily seen being forgotten amidst all of this. Mm-hmm. And I'm very glad that they got it. So for Best Original Screenplay, we had Rian Johnson with Knives Out, which also I would have been fine with winning.
That was, yeah.
Noah Baumbach, Marriage Story, Sam Mendes and Christy Wilson Cairns for 1917. Again, I would have been fine with it winning. Quentin Tarantino, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and Bong Joon-ho, Parasite, and Parasite took that home. Parasite we actually saw that together.
We did.
And Parasite was a movie I went into thinking that really it was going to be... Well, first of all, I went in thinking it was a horror movie because...
Yeah, so did I. So I feel like I saw someone say it was. I'm like, okay.
Yeah. So I'm going in thinking, I'm about to see a horror movie, and what is that? Oh, and going into seeing a horror movie, and then next thing I know, I keep waiting for the second or third act for something to get scary. And then I'm like, it's not getting scary. And the next thing I know, I'm like, it's a totally different movie. And then I end up being like, this is one of my favorite movies of the year. I forget at that time, had I seen Jojo Rabbit?
I think we had.
Where's the way out of here? I'm stuck. Okay, well then I knew it wasn't my favorite, but definitely. Yeah. I mean, again, I loved Endgame, so that's a weird. But I throw that in a different category when I'm talking about movies. So. I think it's my second favorite movie of the year.
Just looking at the list for Best Original Screenplay, I want all of them to win. Is that possible?
It's unfortunately, I think there had to be one, but I do agree with you. Every one of them could have taken it home. Marriage Story. This is the one of the categories. I've seen 4 of the 5, so I just haven't seen Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I'm trying to figure out my way out of this.
Oh my right now. Goodness, he's right behind me.
Yeah, you're dead. Sorry, I'm trying to leave. I found the way out. Yeah, I saw 4 of the 5. I could have seen any one of them take it home. I would have been happy. But Parasite, that's my top pick. Also, I found my way out, so you should join me because we already went through and beat it. Everybody. What do you guys think? How many of you have you guys seen any of those in the chat? Would you have picked a different one to win? Also, notably, just a quick point: Rian Johnson with Knives Out was incredible, but it already got greenlighted for a sequel. We're going to get a franchise with that, and I'm really looking forward to that. I think that it's really good. It has plenty of time for its limelight. I think we're going to see nothing but amazing stuff out of that property going forward. I'm excited for that. Have you guys seen all those movies? What do you guys think about that? Let me know in the chat if you're. We'll come back to it.
That's not the door.
So for Best Adapted Screenplay, again, I loved all of the 4 of the 5 I've seen in that I really loved. We had Steven Zalian with The Irishman, Greta Gerwig with Little Women, Taika Waititi with Jojo Rabbit, Anthony McCartan with Two Popes, Todd Phillips, and Scott Silver with The Joker. Again, I literally would have been happy with any one of them winning, except for probably the Irishman. I probably wouldn't have liked the Irishman to win. But to be honest with you, I feel like anyone that had seen Jojo Rabbit had to pick Jojo Rabbit.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a close race between Jojo Rabbit and Little Woman for me. But, yeah, ultimately, I think if I was forced to pick one of them, it'd be going to Jojo.
Yeah, and I have to concede that's the one I haven't seen was Little Women. I've heard good things, so I'll have to watch it once it comes on one of the many streaming services I own. That's not a flex. It's a testimony to how little money I have now.
Speaking of flexes, just like Bong Joon-ho last night, he called the Oscars just a little local award show as he proceeded to sweep up all the awards.
Also,
that's a flex.
Not only to sweep up all the awards, but he also literally, he's the first person to ever win. We might be getting ahead of ourselves, but I think first one to ever win, international person to win a lot of these categories, right? First international movie to win a lot of these categories. It's a really
and I'm sure once we get the best picture, we'll have a lot more to say on that too.
Yeah, so we'll come back to that. So moving on to live action. No, there's a couple we could talk about. Let's go best costume design. So this is an interesting category, and the reason I think it's an odd category because there's so much room for diversity in judging that, because it's like what's considered a good costume? Is it a costume that's extravagant, or is it a costume that's just different? Oh, I found you right here. Or is it just a costume that's like good at depicting what you're supposed to depict? It's kind of hard to judge. So this is an interesting one, and I'm surprised. Again, I haven't seen Little Women, but from what I've seen of trailers and set photos and stuff, I'm surprised it won. I wouldn't have picked Jojo Rabbit. Jojo Rabbit doesn't seem like it doesn't seem too. The only thing I could see is maybe good is the costume of the general. You remember that at the end where he's
Sam Rockwell,
where he's got his big flag and he's like waving the flag with like a rocket launcher. That I would have maybe, but no, Jojo Rabbit, no, Parasite, no, Irishman maybe, 1917 maybe, but. Oh wait, am I looking at the?
You're looking at the wrong list.
Sorry, Irishman, Jojo Rabbit, Irishman maybe. Joker would have been my bet. Joker would have been my bet for that.
I wouldn't have gone Joker for that. If it was just costume for one character, maybe. But for this one, I was torn between Once Upon a Time in Hollywood and Little Woman. I disagree. I did like a lot of the costumes in Little Woman. There's what's the word I'm looking for here? I don't want to say diversity. No, I just really liked it. Let's go with that. Simplify it. And Once Upon a Time in Hollywood really helped to just capture that late 60s Hollywood aesthetic with all the costume designs.
Okay.
This is a situation where I was fine with either of them winning.
Yeah. Okay, I can see that. Jake the Snake says, is the best adaptation supposed to be awarded to the best adaptation movie wise, or the movie who is the most faithful to the source material? It's supposed to be the best adaptation, not faithful to the source material. In fact, Jojo Rabbit is very different from what the original book was. The book wasn't satirical at all. From what I heard, again, I didn't read it, but from what I've been told, it's not even satirical. So he really took and ran with that, made something very different from what it originally was. So it's not exactly being accurate to it, just being the most unique, or not the most unique, but the best application for it, I guess, as critics would say.
Yeah. Also, I lost you again.
Oh, you know what? Let's actually try to teleport somewhere else because the desert's getting kind of boring. So if you can find a way shrine, can you go to? Give me 1 second. Let me destroy this little. My goat has demon eyes. I don't know when that changed. Does anyone want to see my demon goat? Does anyone see this? I have a demon goat. We'll go ahead and transfer to a different city. Can you travel to? Let's go to somewhere with a dungeon. So let's go to Ashen
Norway,
Road.
got it.
Ashen Road Way Shrine, which is north, is like the top right of the top right small map. So if you travel there, we should see there. We stand Demon Goat. Thank you. We do stand. Also, look, I have dark magic of some sort. Stone Falls. So Stone Falls is where I'm going to. Okay, so let's move on from best costume design. Again, there's a ton we're gonna skip over. Documentary.
You said Davin's Watch.
No, Stone Falls.
Yeah, the Davin's Watch Way Shrine in Stone Falls.
Yes. Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Let's go into best sound editing, and then we'll get into best sound mixing. So I don't know. Do you know what the difference is between those two categories?
So I think I looked at it earlier briefly. Sound editing is I guess through the use, actually putting in sound effects and stuff and things of that nature. And sound mixing is I'm pretty sure making sure in the final film there's everything sounds right between the dialogue and the sound effects and the score, making sure everything is at the appropriate levels.
Okay.
I think.
And then you said that's for sound mixing.
That's for sound mixing, yeah.
And then sound editing is just
like sound effects and stuff. I think.
Okay. So for the best sound mixing, I didn't see Ad Astra, Ford v Ferrari, or Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. So actually, this is one I can't really speak to. I did see Joker in 1917. I can see why 1917 won. But honestly, I really liked Joker's score, which correct me.
Oh, this isn't the scores category.
This isn't the score. So you're right. But I do think I'm gonna talk about. So I guess I'll wait till we get to that category. But so 1917, I could see winning that. I felt like it really brought you in the music. Also, I'm in a different place. Okay, can you go meet me at Ebonheart instead? You'll find it.
Ebonheart, where is that?
You'll find it. It's the center. So anyway, after I figure out how to, I'm still learning how to play this game a little bit. It's been a long time. So yeah, I think I could see 1917 Ford v Ferrari. Do you have any insight as to why Ford v Ferrari won best sound editing?
I mean, I guess racing sound effects. I guess
it's got to be racing sound effects.
It's been a long time since I've seen it. So, well, where am I going here?
Well, right now I'm fighting some Jelly Boys. So once I beat these Jelly Boys,
I just want to. We got Jake the Snake 25 in the comments here. Sound editing versus sound mixing as a cake metaphor. Sound editing is picking and choosing the ingredients, and mixing is putting it in the oven.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, so I could see that. I could see how Ford v Ferrari could have a good execution on that. I mean, I could see the importance of sound in Ford v Ferrari.
Yeah. If I was a betting man 24 hours ago, I was putting all my marbles in the 1917 for everything that was nominated for basket. So I would have gotten some points here.
This is bad. Seems that I may be.
I also did not see Ad Astra. I've heard mixed things about it.
It was bad, wasn't it?
I've heard very mixed things about it. I think it's one of those movies where critics liked it, but audience weren't so gung ho about it.
Really, I would have thought the other way. Well, I guess no audience was really happy about that. No one cared. Source Seattle Times Oscars article. Oh, thanks. All right, so let's just move on from those because we don't really know too much about them. Best cinematography. Do you have any insight on how do they score a best cinematography?
I don't know completely, to be honest. I figure just in terms, I guess, films that just look the best. I guess types of camera work. And type of shots. And so, again, would have given that to 1917 anyway.
Yeah, absolutely. The Irishman was good. It felt like it was easier to film in terms of like film, like how do you not give 1917 that? To make it look like a single shot?
Yeah, which I thought would be more under film editing, which the category was not nominated for at all, which is interesting.
See, I could see that, but I also at the same time, I think there's a lot of planning and like the sheer like ability to make something like that happen is really impressive. Like if you've ever watched like the behind the scenes how they made it work, it is crazy.
Yeah, that was incredible. I just like real quick and to everyone who's watching right now and everyone who's watching on YouTube later, if you haven't seen 1917, go to it. It's not just like the best movie I've seen in 2019 or 2020. It's honestly one of the best movies I've seen like in my entire life.
Now, is that your favorite movie of the year, 2019?
See it. Are we counting it as a 2019 movie because it got a limited release for the Oscars?
No, you can't count it out. You can't count it out.
So if we're doing that, then yeah. If we're not counting it, then Once Upon a Time in Hollywood is my favorite.
Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, your favorite movie of 2019?
If we're not counting 1917, yes.
But if you are counting 1917, I think we should.
If we are counting 1917, then 1917 is my favorite.
Wow, interesting. Jake the Snake says, "Why was us not nominated for any of these categories?"
That was something I wanted to bring up. I think I've seen a lot of comments referencing how the Oscars discriminates against certain genres, primarily the horror genre. In this case, I know a lot of people wanted to see some recognition for us there. I personally thought Lupita, pronouncing her name wrong, I know. Lupita Nyong'o should have gotten a Best Actress nomination for her role in Us. I haven't seen this movie, but I know the movie Hereditary by Ari Aster got a lot of acclaim. A lot of people wanted to see that get recognition at the Oscars, but it got none, I believe. I think Midsommar could have snuck in there as well.
Okay. So you think if they were better, more fair to the horror genre, Crawl could have made it in there, you know?
I didn't see Crawl, did you?
I didn't either, but it actually got pretty good ratings.
Yeah, it did.
That was Sam Raimi, wasn't it?
I believe he produced it, not directed.
Okay, gotcha. Also, I'm at the Eberhard Way Shrine, so maybe we'll meet up there. Yeah, but here's the thing. I'm going to say my reason for why I don't think Us made the cut, it wasn't good enough. 2019 was a ridiculous year. In fact, I don't understand why 1917 tried to make it into the 2019 Oscars. Like, why didn't it Why didn't it just try to slip into 2020? Because 2019 was so stacked. If I had seen the competition, even being so sure of how good 1917 was, and it was really good, I wouldn't have put it up against such a stacked list. I would have put it in the next year where it's guaranteed to like rack in all those wins.
Yeah, I think like for this year, our high profile sure Oscar bait ones are Tenet and Dune, really.
Yeah, but we could see some other ones come in. Which I have some things about. I have some things to say about that because I recently heard a movie that I really liked was snubbed. We'll get to it later.
Also, where are you at again?
I'm by the Eberhard Way Shrine.
I don't know where that is.
My boys see me. If you have access to the stream, you can just kind of like.
Yeah, I do. Pull up your map here for a second.
Gotcha. So I'm right here.
Also, I like how the stream is also like a couple seconds behind where we actually are in the game.
Oh yeah, so you're a little delayed. That's where I'm at. I'm actually gonna walk towards the front gate. Yeah, I think I haven't seen Lighthouse. So for cinematography, Lighthouse I've heard is really good. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, I've heard really good things from you about that.
Are you in a DLC place?
Really no, just the front gate. It's in the main part. It's in Stone Falls. It's the center city.
Oh.
So let's actually go to visual effects. Here's the thing about visual effects. 1917 won. So let me go through the categories. The people in it. It was Avengers Endgame, The Irishman, The Lion King, 1917, Star Wars: Rise of Skywalker. For visual effects, The Irishman was good in that it did de-aging.
That was definitely last place of my five.
But that's what I was gonna say. I mean, it's good for doing that, but it's not the first movie that's done that. It's great that they can do that, but it's not like crazy.
Yeah.
Like other movies are doing it.
I have no real qualms about this one. I was going 1917 for this one too.
I'm actually surprised that you say that, because 1917 had some really good visual effects, but if we're comparing it to things like, first of all, we knew that Avengers Endgame and Star Wars Rise of Skywalker, those being in there was just a nod to shut everyone else up. They were never going to win.
I could have seen Star Wars winning it.
I feel like I don't see them conceding that. I don't think from an Academy perspective, they don't really give a whole lot of credence to those movies. So like, I'd be surprised to see it. But of any of them that should have won, why did The Lion King not win that? Because The Lion King, first of all, it's entirely animated, and it's put in the visual effects category, not in an animated movie category. So the fact that it's credible enough to make it into the live action category and isn't even live action, it should have won.
It's Lion King, but it's just weird. It's in this weird state where like they try to make it as lifelike as possible, but they still try to give emotions to all the animals, and it just didn't work for a lot of people, myself included.
Okay, I can see that. But then I take it to another level, and I'm like, what they were able to do with Avengers Endgame and what they were able to do with Star Wars, I just feel like they both were above 1917 in terms of visual effects, but I understand. They weren't going to win. Let's move on to, we could just do it. We won't go far into this. I'm just going to make a quick statement. For international feature film,
Almost all
Parasite was going to win.
Yeah.
Parasite's nominated for Best Picture. It's the only international film nominated for Best Picture that was on that list. It was going to make it. So we won't even stay there. Let's go to score. So the original best original
I just
score.
Want to shout out snaps in the comments. I can agree with 1917 winning for visual effects. VFX isn't always equal to just CGI, and who uses the most of it. And 1917 really just used it masterfully.
Okay, I'll concede.
I agree with that.
I'll concede that. That's fair. It was okay. You know what? I'm gonna concede the whole argument because I'm just thinking back through that movie and like the scene with like the burning church and like just that whole area, like that whole town was just like beautifully done. So I'm gonna concede that. Yep, I'll absolutely concede that. That's where those lions live. Come on, Jared. That's where those lions live. Visual effects snub. Cats. I'll concede it.
I do believe it was on the short list before it came out.
Yep. It could have been on there. We could have seen it. Why? Just because the movie bombed doesn't mean that they can't get that award. Wouldn't that have been great?
I have nothing positive to say about that movie. And that's that. Score. Okay.
The visual effects of Cats was the best. It was the best thing about the movie, maybe.
It was not.
Lions that live where? Salad Dance. They live in the Lion King. I don't know what you're saying. Music, original score. The five that were there were Joker, Little Women, Marriage Story, 1917, and Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker. I'm actually surprised that Rise of Skywalker was there.
All right, I have a snub
John
for this
Williams. One. Okay, snubs. Let's hear it.
All right. In place of Rise of Skywalker, which John Williams is always good, I didn't find his original score for Rise of Skywalker to be all that captivating. I would have put Avengers Endgame there.
Yeah.
For portals.
Wait, guys, watch this really quick. Every time I stand there, this guy sprints. Watch, he'll disappear. He sprints towards me in full sprint every time. Okay. Anyway, okay, I can see that is a switch. I wouldn't give it the victory. I'm going to tell you why I think that the Joker has the best score of these. Also, I'm on the bridge in front of Stonefall, in front of that.
Oh, I agree. Joker deserved this one.
But I'm going to tell you why I think it's the best, because I went to go see it the second time in theaters, and I fell asleep. Not because... so here's another thing about A-List, another plug to A-List. Sometimes I just need a place to go to kill 2 hours. So like sometimes I'll just go and I'll just like sit in a movie. I was waiting once for my fiance, and I went to see it was the cartoon with Secret Life of Pets 2. I went to go see Secret Life of Pets 2 for 30 minutes of the movie, and I sat down and I just kind of watched 30 minutes because I was waiting. So like that's a benefit. It's not a benefit that you sign on for, but it's a benefit you get. So anyway, I needed somewhere to sleep because I was not at home. And so I went to see the Joker in one of the movie theaters with the recliner chairs, and I fell asleep for the movie, but I woke up and I just like, you could like with your eyes closed feel the emotion in a scene through through that music.
Yeah.
And like that's incredible about it. All GV Crash comes in with, I don't even know what this face is. Kind of looks like me.
When I think of the Joker score, I really just think of, those last few minutes of the movie before, not the last few minutes when he's in like the rehab, but when he's in the riot scene as he like dances and puts the blood smile on for the first time.
Violin,
that's
right.
Yeah,
or is
that's
it
what comes to my mind. Whatever it was, like
exactly what you're saying. I love these emojis.
Like,
I don't know what they are, where they're coming from. Do I have them? Oh, I do. All right, I'm dropping you a dog. There you go. It's your gift. Oh, little gift of a dog. I can't find you. Are you alive? Are you lost?
I think
We've
I'm
lost
here.
our friend, boys. What?
I think I'm here.
I'm on the big bridge. Find me on the bridge, brother.
Oh,
brother.
That's not you on the big bridge. Maybe there's a different big bridge.
I'm the one with the bear helmet. Oh, you're on that big bridge. I'm coming to you. Stay on the bridge.
All right.
All right, friends. We're going to go find this kid. Can I make it onto this mushroom? Hold up. I have a pressing, important thing I need to do first.
But, yeah, I think Joker is a very worthy winner here.
Yep, I'll give it to that one. All right, let's go.
I also believe it's the first time a female composer has won Best Score. I think.
I don't know that, but that'd also be pretty significant, because that's another argument is people, it's a good one, which is that, there's not a lot of representation in that sense as well.
There was not
female representation in the awards, which that's a whole different argument of whether or not it's the Oscars' job to do that, or if it's just it's the companies, the producers, which I would argue it's the companies, it shouldn't be the awards to decide that, but that's just me.
I'm just saying, as two straight white men, I don't think we should be having the representation discussion.
Yep, absolutely. I agree with you. I can't find you. Which bridge are you on?
I'm on the bridge with the Ebenhart Guard. We're just chilling.
Okay. Well, there's a lot of Ebenhart Guards. It's their city, but you just stay there. I'll find you.
Hold on. I'll just go to the center of town.
Well, that seems like harder to find you, but let's go with it. Sure. The big stairs.
The big stairs.
Maybe we're just in a different server. Is there different servers in this? I have no clue.
I'm just waiting on the big stairs.
If anyone in the chat sees where this dude is, can you tell me? This dude's still sprinting at me. Let's see if he sprints down. Let's get to the bottom of the steps. Will he run? Are you in the city of Ebenhart?
Yes.
Okay. Guys, I think we lost our friend here. Is there another thing of big stairs? Do you see me on my screen?
Here.
I find it hard to believe. Guys, we've lost him. He's in my butt. That's possible. Can we get more rainbow face guy in chat? Can we? Let's get more rainbow face while we're trying to figure this out. And then we're going to get into best actor, best actress categories. So let's go right into, we shouldn't skip best director. So for best director, there were 5, obviously, candidates. Bong Joon-ho for Parasite, Sam Mendes for 1917, Todd Phillips for Joker, Martin Scorsese for The Irishman, Quentin Tarantino for Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I personally think that there was a snub here, and that would be for Taika Waititi. Taika Waititi should have been in the best director category. I would have knocked Martin Scorsese out of the top 5 personally, and put in Taika Waititi. Who do you think got snubbed?
Greta Gerwig for Little Woman got snubbed. And I also said, if I'm pronouncing her name correctly, where is it? Marielle Heller, who directed A Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood.
Okay. I heard another one that people said should have gotten included. The one with, what was the movie with Awkwafina? I haven't seen it. I've been trying to find
Lulu Wang and The Farewell.
Yeah, The Farewell.
Yeah, I can't believe I missed that one.
That is one that I've heard a lot of people complaining about that got snubbed, and I haven't seen it, but I heard that she had an incredible, like, I heard that that both Best Actress for Awkwafina, like, she could have been in that top 5. I heard that you know Best Director, she should have gotten that. Again, I'm forgetting her name. I think you just said
Lulu Wang.
Lulu Wang. I can't find it. But yeah, honestly, it's a tough. It was a stacked group, so like I get it. But at the same time, I mean, it's such a stacked group. So I would say that got snubbed. But looking at it, I mean, man, it's hard. And I'm gonna say, and Bong Joon-ho with Parasite took home the win for Best Director. I'm down. I'm down for it.
It was a glorious scene last night on film Twitter as everyone shifted their Best Picture guesses from 1917 to Parasite.
Yeah.
Immediately after that.
And let me be clear, for nothing. So first of all, again, keep in mind I went into that movie with no expectations. However, the movie has, and I say this pretty definitively, probably the strongest third act of any movie I have ever seen.
Parasite. I agree.
That movie's third act was it totally changed what you thought that movie was going to be.
That's also not you.
I don't even know if we're in the same city.
I accepted your invitation.
Yeah, I don't even know. It doesn't show me where you.
It took me to the Way Shrine.
Ebonheart Way Shrine?
Yeah.
All right,
that's where I am.
Yeah, it's that movie. I mean, listen, I've seen some really good third acts, and that movie's third act. First of all, if you haven't seen the movie, I'm not gonna tell you anything about the movie other than that's a movie you need to watch right now. I just found you. Hey, here I am. Please follow me.
Hello.
You see me? You need to see that movie. I'm not going to tell you anything about that movie. You need to see it. How do they decide the best director anyway? Jake the Snake asks. How can you tell a movie was great as it was because of the director or the writer or producer, etc.? That's a good point. There's probably nitty gritty things to think about. Whose job to do what. I think it does come down to just whose job is what category. I mean, if you look at there's things that you can tell a writer does. The general overall storyline. How much does that storyline hold up as like if you were to describe that story? I feel like that's probably like you look at the screenwriters or the screenplay and you're like, okay, how it's written, that's the best screenplay, you know? And then I feel like it's the job of the director to actualize that screenplay. I don't know if I'm describing that right. I don't know if that's how they judge it. But
the director has like the vision for it, and then they add like their style.
Exactly. So that's kind of like that's how I would judge those categories. And then in terms of actors, that's I mean that's the actor's performance, right? You can tell something's an actor's performance, and we'll get to that in a minute. But Parasite, totally, I wouldn't have been upset if 1917 won.
Yeah, like I said, 1917 had all my votes at the night.
Parasite earned that.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, we are all Bong Joon-ho stands on this glorious day.
Oh, absolutely.
Did you know he directed Snowpiercer too?
Yeah, I did know that. But you know what's the most interesting thing? I'm gonna tell you right now. If I hear that anyone in this chat watches this first, I will be upset. Bong Joon-ho has agreed, and I forget who he's working with. He is making an American adaptation of Parasite.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you all right now, it's probably gonna be amazing because it's still him. However, you are missing out by not watching the original Parasite.
Yeah.
Because there's gonna be, and I'm not saying that some of the cultural choices that they make don't translate over well to American movies, because some movies that is the case. Like Old Boy is my favorite movie, but I don't think there's some cultural things I don't think would translate over very well. And as we've seen, because there is an American Old Boy and it wasn't good. But here's the thing, and you actually, Jared, quoted this on your Facebook. Bong Joon-ho said, once you can get past the 1-inch barrier that is subtitles, you open your world to an entire new, whole new world of amazing movies.
Yeah.
And you're doing yourself a disservice by not watching foreign films. I can give you some of my favorite movies of all time are foreign films. Old Boy is my number one film ever. That's Korean. Actually, Korean. Honestly, Korean film industry in general is probably American film industry is still the best, but Korean film industry is a very close second. It writes some of the best stories with what it has. I mean, for example, Train to Busan. Do yourself a favor, watch that movie. Pandora. Do yourself a favor and watch that movie. Some really good movies come out of Korea that you could do yourself a favor and watch. Indonesia has a really good film industry. If you want to watch some of the best fighting movies I've ever seen, I would say watch the Raid series. Okay, there's Raid 1 and 2. Chinese film industry has Ip Man. That's an amazing film. There's so many good film industries. We see some really good ones out of Europe too. Just do yourself a favor and watch it. Have you seen Kingdom on Netflix? It's a Korean zombie drama. Love the sound of it. Have not seen it, but I just might.
I'm about to add it to my watch list.
Yep, I'm jumping across a lot right now. Yeah, subs over dubs. Also, I agree. I stand subs over dubs. Did not see a lot of movies nominated, but 1917 was my favorite 2019. That's awesome. Honestly, the fact that you saw one means you had an amazing experience as it was. Wait, some of them are on Netflix right now.
Of the ones to see, he picked a good one.
Yep. Marriage Story, Two Popes, The Irishman, all on Netflix. So you can go watch those today if you wanted to. You could leave my stream right now and watch them. Please don't.
Please don't.
We'll get sad. And no, I haven't seen Kingdom, but I will put that on the list. I saw there was something there's a Netflix show called Kingdom, I think, and I was thinking it was that when you said that. But anyway, we'll move on from Best Director because let's get into the
guy
best.
Right here.
Where you at? Where you see a guy? What guy? Oh, what the heck?
There's a couple boys over here.
Portal. What's this portal about? Hey guys. Oh, we're fighting? Okay. Yeah, so Best Actor. So Best Actor, there's the 5 nominated for Best Actor was Joaquin Phoenix's Joker, Leonardo DiCaprio in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, Antonio Banderas in Pain and Glory, which I have not seen, Adam Driver in Marriage Story, and Jonathan Pryce in Two Popes. I'm gonna say right off the bat,
I got two snubs here.
I've seen 4 of these 5 movies. How many of these have you seen?
I have not seen Pain and Glory or Two Popes.
Yep, and I just haven't seen Pain and Glory. I do like Antonio Banderas, but I don't know that. I don't know that I can't. Again, you can always an actor can have an amazing standout performance, but I don't see him as like this star-studded Academy Award-winning actor. But I haven't seen the movie, so I can't speak to it. But I will speak to what I have seen. And there's some amazing talent in there. Who do you think got snubbed before we get into?
I got two here. I got Taron Egerton as Elton John in Rocket Man.
Okay.
And I got Adam Sandler for Uncut Gems.
Okay. Can we just be grateful though? I'm grateful that he wasn't picked because
now we're getting Jack and Jill too.
Is that what the movie is?
No, but he's going.
So for those of you that don't know. Adam Sandler.
Paul Rudd was snubbed. That was Paul Rudd.
Paul Rudd, I don't know. I know he's an amazing Netflix show right now called... What is it called? I'm blanking on the name of it. There's an amazing Netflix series where he has a...
Living with Yourself.
Clone. Living with Yourself. That's a really good show. You should watch it. I don't know what movie you're talking about, but interested. Maybe his performance in Endgame. I don't know.
He didn't go up any buttholes, so yeah, it can't be.
Ant-Man, lol. Yeah. Uncut Gems. Yeah. So those that don't know, Adam Sandler said if he doesn't get the Best Actor Oscar for Uncut Gems, he's going to make the worst movie any of us have ever seen. That was his promise that he made. No, I'm not making that up. And honestly, super excited to see. I just can't wait to see what it is. I'm honestly impressed that he went outside of his comfort zone and he made a movie like this. I still haven't seen it. It sounds like it was amazing. I'm really excited to see it.
One of the most tense movies I've seen.
Yeah,
in a while.
I've heard it's really, really impactful, especially to people with addiction, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
So I'm really excited. I'm just gonna run through these guys. Hope they don't see me.
That's all I had for snubs in the Best Actor category, and I'm not surprised at the outcome. It's I don't think anyone's surprised about it.
Yeah, Joaquin Phoenix did an amazing performance, and to see him, pull home the Best Actor, to be the second Best Actor Oscar award winner that played the Joker.
Did you see that little tidbit I dropped earlier today? Every movie starring the Joker, aside from Batman 1966, has won an Oscar.
Really?
Yeah. I forget what Batman 89 won. I know Suicide Squad won.
Starring the Joker?
Everyone where the Joker was a character. Every live action one.
Really? In Endgame?
Because I know Suicide Squad won Best Costume. Heath Ledger won for supporting actor. Joaquin just won. I forget what Batman 89 won, but I know it won something.
That's interesting. I'm also still salty till this day that Suicide Squad won anything. Just because it's the worst movie I've ever seen. I haven't seen Cats, but it's the worst movie I've ever seen. So
I can assure you, Suicide Squad is better than Cats. It's not even the worst comic book movie there is. I assure you that much.
Well, that's where we differ. Are you saying Cats isn't the worst comic book movie ever?
No, Suicide Squad.
Don't you wish Cats kind of was a comic book movie? Has some expanded universe. What the heck? All right, we gotta fight this thing because it's scaring me. It's scaring the children. So, yeah, I'm not surprised Joaquin Phoenix won, but I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah.
Adam Driver could have taken that, and I would.
He was definitely like my number 2 choice.
But Joker had a standout performance. I mean, Joaquin Phoenix was really.
Yeah.
What do you guys think? Do you guys think that? Do you think Joaquin Phoenix was a shoo-in for that? Do you think there was? Do you think Joaquin Phoenix was a shoo-in for that, or do you guys think that one of the other contenders, Jonathan Pryce, did amazing, but it wasn't first place. It wasn't number one. The number one performance. Joaquin Phoenix had a standout performance. There was nothing you could do about it. That was winning.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think if anyone could have just straight up or someone that was snubbed. I can't think of any that were snubbed just because there's some real big talent in here.
Yeah.
I am surprised that I haven't seen Pain and Glory because to get placed in the Best Actor category with such a stacked group, I'm surprised I haven't seen it because he must have had an amazing performance to be in the top 5 here.
Oh, I died.
Honestly, I didn't like the Joker all that much, but Joaquin Phoenix deserved it. That's fair. Because that's the thing is, even if you don't like the Joker, Joaquin Phoenix is did an amazing as the Joker.
The movie, I would not think that movie would be as good if Joaquin did not do what he did.
Oh yeah, I couldn't see anyone going in and stepping in playing the role like he did. He did incredible. All right, so let's move on to Best Actress. Best Actress, there was this is actually one I've seen the least movies in the category, so I'm gonna have a lot less to say on this one.
We got Best Actress here.
Yep, Best Actress. We have Cynthia Erivo in Harriet, Renee Zellweger in Judy, Scarlett Johansson in Marriage Story, the only one I have seen, Charlize Theron in Bombshell, and Saoirse Ronan. Saoirse Ronan.
Nope, Saoirse. Not
Saoirse?
Not Saoirse. Saoirse.
Yeah, Saoirse. Saoirse.
Yeah.
Again, like last episode, like last stream, I just need to have an entire highlight reel. Oh, he refreshed his life. Let's get out of here. I need an entire highlight reel of me just mispronouncing names.
I have not seen Judy or Harriet, so I cannot comment on Renee or.
I'm actually not even sure when
Cynthia.
they came out.
Harriet, I believe, came out in like the fall when every other Oscar movie comes out. Judy, I don't know when came.
I don't even know what Judy's about.
Judy Garland, the singer.
It's a biopic?
I think so.
I don't even remember a trailer for that movie.
Yeah.
Bombshell, I keep forgetting. Is that the one?
That's the Fox News one.
Oh, yes, yeah. I wanted to see that, actually.
That one best makeup, and I agree with that one. They did a good job with the makeup for the cast there. Okay. Making Charlize look just like Megyn Kelly.
Yeah, that's what I heard. Didn't somebody made a joke about that? Who was that? Because they came out and said, I'm Megyn Kelly, right? Who was that? One of the announcers.
I forget who that was.
For the Oscars came out and said, I am. He's like, I don't know. I'm forgetting.
I think I know. I think it was Ray Romano.
Yes,
Ray Romano. He's like, and I'm Charlize Theron.
Yeah, he's Charlie. Yes, that's what it was.
Yeah.
So speaking from, you've seen 3 of the 5?
I've seen Marriage Story, Little Woman, and Bombshell.
Okay.
Of those 3 performances, it's between Saoirse and Scarlett. I'm leaning towards Scarlett though for Marriage Story.
And GB Crash says, "I love Saoirse Ronan." I keep pronouncing this name incorrectly. I apologize. But oh geez, I'm just gonna run around these guys, so just ignore them. Yeah, I again haven't seen Little Women. I've only seen Marriage Story, so I can't speak to the other performances. But I can tell you that Scarlett Johansson brought it to that movie.
Yeah.
Now, that being said, I think Adam Driver had the standout role, the standout performance in that movie.
Yeah.
But Scarlett Johansson brought it for that.
I have 2 snubs for this category.
Okay.
I have Ana de Armas for Knives Out. And Lupita Nyong'o for Us.
I don't know how good. I mean, she was good in Knives Out. I don't know if she does. I don't know. Lupita, I could see absolutely. Yeah, I'm not sure about. But again, I haven't seen.
I just want to see Knives Out.
Movies, so
I wanted to see Knives Out get represented more.
Yeah, listen, they got like 5 movies they're gonna probably end up making about it. It's the start of a franchise. He's leaving James. He's for sure. Daniel Craig is for sure leaving James Bond after this next movie, just to go head first into this franchise.
That's not why, but you are correct. He is leaving James Bond.
Yeah. All right. So Saoirse Ronan is fan. Thank you for the little pronoun.
Yeah.
Saoirse
Ronan. She's gonna be the next big thing.
Lady Bird.
She's the next big young female actor. So join the Ronan Empire now.
I will. Sounds good.
Thank you. It's not my joke. I stole it from someone else.
Is it a joke? It just sounds like a statement.
Someone made a joke. I saw someone make a joke. The pun on Roman Empire.
Oh, I see.
And
I see. Where are you at?
Yeah, you did lose me. I see Snap 45. Saoirse Ronan is fantastic. I loved her in Lady Bird. I have not gotten the chance to see Lady Bird yet. I'm trying to.
You couldn't get through Lady Bird. Why?
To me, stranger.
What I know is very much a big coming of age girl story, so that may play part. Okay, I see you. You are way over there, and I am here. So I will start walking towards you.
Cool. I'm just gonna chill here with this dude that's standing on a rock or a tree. Is that a tree?
Yeah. So it seems like GB Crash agrees with what I said there. Kind of like it's very much a young woman's coming of age story. He probably just couldn't relate to it and didn't find it that interesting.
That's fair. And that's the thing, is not every movie's for everybody. That's one of the things when people are like, why are they making this movie? You always have to ask yourself, was this movie for you? You know, I mean, just because you like movies doesn't mean you're every audience for every movie. So you have to also take that consideration. That being said, I'm not saying that's what you were saying. But definitely like it's just an interesting topic is that sometimes when people say, hey, you know that, why is this movie being made? Examples like I was like, why is the Harley Quinn movie being made? But maybe I'm just not the audience. But I'm going to say.
It was better than expected.
It was better than expected. It was not great. It was good. It was good. It was definitely good. But it wasn't like great. So I'm going to say like.
I had a fun time.
I had a fun time. I got what I needed out of it. Yeah. I'd say like I'm glad I went to see it. I'm glad I went to see it. I'd watch another one.
Yeah.
Did I lose you again? Where are you at?
I'm right behind you.
I'm going into this dungeon. Yeah, you have the taste for it. But her performance is really good. Oh, for Lady Bird. Yeah, I definitely would have to. We're going to do Fungal Grotto 1. Because the 2 would be too hard.
Into the grotto.
Yeah, that being said, I need to talk right before we get into Best Picture. Because we'll do Best Picture and then probably got to get out of here after that. After we take a couple questions and stuff and talk with, if anyone had. Oh, by the way, if you have any questions, keep sending them in. Also, Oscar's excellent. Lupita Nyong'o got snubbed for sure. I could see that for absolutely. Timothy Chalamet was a good rising actor like Saoirse.
Yeah. Yes, he is.
Who's Timothy Chalamet? I'm blanking.
Well, he was in the 2 movies you didn't see, Little Woman and Lady Bird.
Got it.
I don't know. Just imagine. I don't know. He's a good actor.
Okay, gotcha. So here's so really quick. Oh wow. Okay, this is gonna be rough. Really quick, I just want to say, before we get into Best Picture, there's some good movies already coming out this year. I'm excited for this year, and the reason
Dr. Dolittle is not one of them.
Dr. Dolittle is unfortunately not one of them. However, a movie that is one of them. That I think is getting less credit than it deserves is man, I'm blanking on the name.
Bad Boys for Life. I agree.
Not Bad Boys for Life.
That was so much fun though.
It's the new one starring Blake Lively.
Oh, Blake Lively. Oh, the rhythm section.
The rhythm section.
I've heard very mixed things about that.
Loved the rhythm section. I came out of that movie being like, I hope that this is the next Bond-Bourne-esque franchise. Now, I was very sad to hear that it set a record for a record low in box offices. In the first weekend box office. A record low. It was like 2.9 million for the first weekend box office. Ridiculously low. Which was kind of upsetting because I was super excited to see a sequel of this, and I'm not so sure we're gonna get it.
Well, how low is that? Like, is that just like a January low?
No,
we gotta give the Playmobil movie some credit here.
It was the lowest for scale. So it opened in 3,060 theaters, and it only sold on an average like $900 per theater.
Ooh.
Which is very low. Snap said I never even heard about it. Snaps, you will love this movie. Anyone that is listening to me right now, it just came out like last week. It's Blake Lively, aka the better half of the Ryan Reynolds, Blake Lively couple action hero duo. So I'll just give you a little context. I'm not gonna spoil the movie. This is about a woman who lost her family in a tragic accident and learns, hey, maybe there's more to that accident, and I'm gonna get it's a revenge story. She's gonna get and it really shows character development. It shows how someone who is not it shows how someone who could be not so strong to begin with can have like that heart and like actually put in the time, put in the work, and become someone, who's capable of taking back and getting the revenge she wants and needs. It is a really good story. It doesn't baby anyone. It doesn't baby her as an actress. It doesn't, and, it doesn't baby the rest of the cast. It doesn't. It's not unrealistic either, which I really like. Jake the Snake is out. See ya, boys. See ya, man. Thanks for coming on. That movie, do yourself a favor and watch it. It's a really good film. It's what I think it got a bad rap for is that it was less action than some people thought. So the first act is long, and it's a lot of understanding this character. Some of it is trying to. It's a character that's really down on her luck, and it really, really ingrains that in that first act. But she's not weak, and so you see this character really become stronger throughout that film, and she becomes more externally what she has potential. You see potential in her internally from the beginning. It's a really good movie. Good character study. Recommend highly. And I'm really disappointed that it's doing as poorly as it's doing in the box offices. So if you could support it, go support it. I'll probably see it again just so I can help get those numbers up because I'd like to see more of it. Also, really good twist at the end. Ooh, spoiler. All right, so let's move in. I've talked enough about that. Not really exactly what we came on to talk about, but let's get into Best Pictures. So here we are. Best Picture, this category. I'm staring down these people, by the way, if you're watching. I'm very scared to step forward because as soon as I step forward, they're just going to wreck me. So I want to get through who the Best Picture nominations are first, and then I'll try my best here. Best Picture nominations, there were 9 of them. 1917, The Irishman, Jojo Rabbit, Joker, Little Women, Marriage Story, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, Parasite, and Ford v. Ferrari. I have seen of those 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of the 9 movies. Jared, you have seen all of them?
I have seen all 9 movies nominated for Best Picture, yes.
What was snubbed?
I had one snub. That was Beautiful Day in Your Neighborhood. That was my only snub.
Okay.
I don't know if a whole lot of people felt that, but I felt that.
If you had to take one thing out, what have you taken out to put that in?
Ooh. I think of the current 9, I'm going to get a lot of hate from from film Twitter here, but I think my least favorite was The Irishman of the 9 of them.
Now, from the ones I've seen, I agree with you. I really liked it, but man,
it's a good movie. Do not get me wrong.
If you've seen all these movies, you understand how hard this decision is.
Yeah.
Here's how it's going. I've seen.
Oh,
hi, how's it going? I've seen your Burke the Nerd Twitch channel. What is up? Insuto Weho. I gotta learn how to pronounce your account name.
Insuto 93RE.
Insuto 93RE. Okay, you got it. My bad. I'm learning here. Yeah. No. What are you thinking? Let's hear what you got to think. We're going through these Best Picture nominations. What do you think? I think so. First, Jared, what you got? I don't know. What are you thinking about? Who do you think you think deserved to win it? I'm guessing you're thinking Once Upon a Time or 1917.
1970. Yeah, 1970. I just want to say I'm surprised that Ford v. Ferrari snuck in there. It was a really good movie and a lot better than I thought it was going to be. But I didn't know that many people were considering it for the Best Picture. I do recommend seeing it though if you have not.
Yeah, I haven't seen it yet, but I definitely will.
Let's see, going down.
Also,
for the rest of the year.
It's so I still don't know how to pronounce it. I don't think. Maybe you're a bot. I don't know, but I want to thank you either way. Yeah, it sounds kind of body. Listen, I welcome everyone, even robots, into our chat. And honestly, if you can't get on board with robots in the chat, then you're not welcome. So, GB Crash, you need to think about the stance you're taking in this robot
in the
loving
robot
world.
wars.
In the robot wars. Do you want to be on the wrong side of the robot wars, GB Crash? I don't think so. You're right, Snaps. It is unfortunate. We thought we had a good friend. We still do. I think we can look back and say in Pseudo Weho 93 is probably one of our most faithful and loyal fans. GB Crash.
I'm just going through it.
Why do you assume all bots are swindlers? GB Crash. I think we need to hold off this Oscar discussion and really get into the biases that GB Crash is exhibiting right now. The anti-robot biases.
Yeah.
I don't think all bots are swindlers. Let me say that now. That's my stance on bots. I think they deserve equal opportunity. I, for one, welcome our new artificial overlords. Thank you, Snaps. Thank you. That's what I'm saying. We just have to get in with the times. That's what it is. Anyway.
Speaking of artificial intelligence overlords, I believe it was Warner Brothers who made this AI that's supposed to write scripts for them.
What? I love it.
Yeah.
It's just going to be a combination of all the Oscar-winning movies.
Let's see, what has 100% on Rotten Tomatoes and what has made $1 billion, and just put them together.
Yeah, right. That's actually really cool. I haven't heard about that. All right, so Best Picture, you would have picked 1917.
I would have gone 1917, though I am not mad that Parasite won it. Parasite was not. I wouldn't. It was not in my top 3 choices for Best Picture winner, but yeah, I'm not mad about it though because it was an amazing movie. All of these were,
correct.
And it was a remarkable achievement. The first time a international film has won Best Picture, I believe.
They're spawn killing us. This is bad. Let's leave. Jeez, I don't know if we can leave now. We're stuck. Oh, jeez. I don't know if we can even make it out the door.
We can't. It's locked.
Oh.
Well, maybe it's because we're in combat now. So maybe if we exit combat, it'll open
We can't
up,
exit combat. They're at the door. Oh, we're doomed. Oh, no.
In Pseudo-Weo 93 RE, you're a computer.
Pseudo-Weo, enter the game. Enter the game and join us. Help us defeat.
Save us.
All right, anyone that's got an account, we need your assistance. We can't escape. Help.
The Brambles Collective.
Just hide in the corner. Hide in the corner. Put your shields on. Help. All right. Anyway, while I'm getting murdered by a goblin or something, that's the same with me. Jojo Rabbit would have been my number 1 pick, but Parasite was a close second for me, honestly. I came back and I really bothered my fiance with that because as soon as I got back, I told her the entire story. I told her the entire movie. I totally ruined it for her, but I was just so happy with that movie that when I couldn't stop raving about it. But I would have done the same with Jojo Rabbit.
But your fiance saw Jojo Rabbit.
But she saw it with me, so that I couldn't do that. As much as I would have liked to. I probably still ended up telling her about the movie, even though she saw it with me, because that's just how I roll. I'm a mansplainer. But that's just how it is. And that's the thing. I honestly, there are so many good movies of 2019, and I'm happy with the results. I don't feel like there's too many. I'm super glad that this is. I really hope that with how many wins Parasite brought home, it'll open the doors to audiences, open their minds, and allow them to start welcoming international movies. I don't think there should be an international film category, like best international film. There should just be best film, but we should see more international films. Because it's not like this is the first movie that was made internationally that was good, that was worthy of it. Yeah. It's just the first one we've recognized.
Yeah. Well, it's not the first one's gotten recognized. Foreign films have gotten nominated for Best Picture before. I know Roma did last year.
Yes, but it's just not often.
Yeah.
And they're not getting enough screen time in U.S. theaters. And I just would like to... I hope that this opens the audiences up.
Yeah. I disagree. I wouldn't do away with the whole foreign film category as a whole, but I do agree. I hope they start popping up more in the general categories aside from that, and that they get some more time in theaters.
Yeah,
locally.
Absolutely. Do you guys have any movies that you think should have been in Best Picture? Let me know here. If you're watching afterward on YouTube, then let me know in the comments there as well.
Oh, Burke, I think we can leave now.
Oh, we're allowed to exit? We're going to escape this dungeon.
We did it.
And I think with that, unless anyone's got anything in the comments, we're going to kind of wrap that. I want to hear what you guys think, whether you're in the chat now or if you are on YouTube watching this later. Let me know what you guys think about the content. Do you guys have any ideas for questions of the week in the future? Because I'm trying to make stuff that you guys want to hear, stuff that I enjoy talking about, but that includes movies, that includes television, that includes anime, that includes video games, that includes a whole lot of different topics. So if you guys have a particular favorite episode you've seen so far, favorite stream that you've watched that I've done so far, if you have a topic that you just think would be good for a future, let me know in the chat now before we sign off. Let me know in the comments on the channel if you're watching this on playback later. I want to hear what you guys have to think. I don't want to just be making it if it's not something you guys like listening to. Especially those of you that have been watching frequently. I really enjoy having you guys on, and I want to kind of make sure I'm continually catering to what you guys like to hear. So let me know. And Mr. Otter, it's been a pleasure having you on today.
Hey, Burke, thanks for having me on, man. It's been a pleasure.
Yeah. And Snap says he'll come back on for anime discussion. He was on for our Pokemon chat the other day, which was also a really fun one too. Yeah, Mr. Otter, it's been super fun to have you on, and it's just been a pleasure to be able to bring you out of the chat and bring you into discussion.
I love watching the streams, man. I love being in the chat. It's super excited to finally be on, because I feel whenever I'm in the chat, I just want to say something, but I'm like, but he can't hear me there.
Yeah, and luckily, I mean, it's really nice that we can have that conversation. You know, we can have that like in both ways. I've hopefully done a decent job of talking to you guys in the chat. I've been trying to as much as I can. It's definitely it's a work in progress, being active in the chat and also playing the game and talking about the discussions. But hopefully, I'm reaching all your guys' questions. And definitely, as you guys are watching these on YouTube, try to let me know as much as you can on there, because I know Mr. Otter, I've been picking your topics like consistently because I just really enjoy the topics you've been bringing out. I brought you on for Oscars because I know you've seen every Oscar, every Best Picture. So I knew it was one that was worth bringing you on for. GB Crash says maybe an episode on psychological or philosophical movies. That'd be awesome.
That'd be cool.
Best philosophical movies, I have a list. So that would be a great one. And top 5 movies, I can name those off really quick. Top 5 movies of 2019, Mr. Otter's asking. I see you. Best 5 movies. I'm going to go in reverse order. I'm going to go from number 1. Jojo Rabbit's an easy first pick. Parasite is my second favorite. I'd probably say 1917 as my third. Third. I'm gonna give a quick caveat. Endgame isn't. I'm not gonna put Endgame on the list just because I don't even. It's a whole different thing. My emotion of the movie was so different that I don't even feel like it's right to put it in the category. Because if I put that at an emotional level, it was number 1 for sure. But if I'm talking about like what I think is probably the best movies. Jojo Rabbit, number 1. Parasite, number 2. 1917, number 3. And then it gets a little tough, but I'll probably say Marriage Story, number 4. And Two Popes, number 5.
Nice.
Yep.
Respectable.
So definitely, if you haven't seen any
we got
of those,
some commonalities there.
Yeah. And what were your top 5?
So going in reverse order here, number 5 is A Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood.
Okay.
Number 4 is Marriage Story. Number 3 is Jojo Rabbit. Number 2 is Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. And number 1, 1917.
Great. Yeah. And I guys, honestly, if you're hearing this either in the chat or on playback, let me know what your guys' top 5 are in the comments or something. I'd love to hear it. And we can have a discussion about that. I'm looking forward. Here's another question, just something to think about. Do you guys think that 2020 is going to have as stacked a year as this one? Do you think it's only getting better? Do you think it's kind of dying out? Do you think this is an anomaly? I think it might be an anomaly, but I definitely think there's some good movies coming out next year. So let me know in the comments. And I think for now, we're going to call it for today. Snap said that's a dope idea. I do agree. It's a really good idea. And GB Crash, thanks for giving us that idea. And Mr. Otter, once again, just thanks for coming on and being an awesome guest.
Thank you very much, Burke. I want to give a last minute shout out here to our comment section. We got GB Crash, Snaps45, Jake the Snake was here earlier, Mako Shark was here earlier, Insudo WeHo93RE, potentially a bot, potentially not.
Yeah, I mean, and our next, he's going to be making all of our artwork and banners from now on. So please stay tuned for that. That's going to be pretty.
I almost forgot Salad Dance.
Don't forget Salad Dance. And guys, if you remember nothing else of today, you put your salad in, you put your salad out, you put your salad in, and you toss it all about. All right. So anyway, I hope that, like me, you guys are having an awesome day, and I will see you next time. You guys have a great one.